has taken over. Let's go. It's Ferrall.
Coast to coast. Steaks, chicks, stacks. You and I are going to make a lot of money.
It's Ferrall, coast to coast.
Oh, this is fantastic. The rumors are true. I got my guy Steak Shapiro in Hot Town on Coast to Coast. You got to be kidding me. He's the Anthony Bourdain of food. His show, Atlanta Eats, is one of the coolest food shows you ever seen in your life. His radio show and radio career is second to none. He's been the king of radio in Atlanta for at least 30 years. And then when he started doing the food stuff, it was sexual to me because, you know, on this show, we always talk food. And we always talk, you know, ballpark food. We always talk best restaurants. I talk about where I go to eat. I talk about tomahawks. I talk about everything. And there's no one that talks more food than Steak Shapiro. Steak, it's good to see you. You look fantastic. You're styling. In fact, when we went to him live, Mafia, the first thing I saw was the guy was in a fancy place and he was ordering up a freshie. He was having a beer.
Martini, brother, martini.
All right.
Listen, let me say a few things. First of all, Scott, I moved to Atlanta, Georgia 29 years ago. And it was like following Johnny Carson. Scotty Ferrall came to the ATL, and everybody was like, dude, some guy rolled in here, spent 2 years, packed out Buckhead every night. Out of control, drink shot. The whole, Scotty Ferrall coming to Atlanta. And everyone's like, you're the guy replacing Scotty? Atlanta wasn't big enough for him. He moves on. I got to replace him. Somehow I stuck. I had to hang in there. But I was the guy on that station that replaced Scotty Ferrall. And let me tell you, brother, that's like following Mick Jagger in Atlanta. Because even now, 30 years later, they talk about you in Buckhead at the Lodge at Buckhead Village eating that fried chicken that they used to be famous for, right? And partying our ass off in Buckhead. That's number one. Number two, guys like us, our mama told us we had a face made for radio. But I got to tell you, I don't know what you're on. I don't know what you stopped doing. What, are you on like some kind of supplements? Are you just clean? Are you clean and sober? Are you just, what's going on with you?
I play basketball 6 days a week. I had open heart surgery, dude. I almost died, but I am alive and well. And I don't do anything. HGH, Botox, nothing. This is me, pure Ferrall, 60 tight. After open heart.
You look tight, bro. I mean, like, damn. Because I saw myself 20 years ago, and that wasn't because I look so great now. I was living hard in Atlanta. I mean, Atlanta was, back then, Backstreets never closed. So you would start your night at 3 a.m. in Atlanta. So that wasn't a healthy living. Thank God Ray Lewis came in and they murdered those guys. Next thing you know, Buckhead had to close it too. Buckhead closed. That murder saved probably 10 years of my life because otherwise no bars ever closed. My buddies used to come to Atlanta from New York, Chicago, Boston, Philly. And they're like, dude, what do you mean we're going out to a bar at 2:30? I said, dude, nothing closes in Atlanta. And I was in my 30s or so. But anyway, you look amazing. It's great to be on with you. It's Friday afternoon. I said, are we allowed to swear on this show? We got to be clean. What do we do?
No, we gotta be clean. But okay, I'm glad you're having a teeny. Let me ask you this. A couple things. The food. The show is so brilliant. You know, I used to love Bourdain. I even like Eva going around Spain eating food. I like your show. I like your show a lot.
Bourdain's the coolest of all time. Read his books, listen to the stuff he did, know about his life, tortured soul, the whole thing.
It was great.
I worked with so many idiot program directors. I used to own the station you were on. I owned it because I didn't want to get fired, so I raised a bunch of money. And I was the only guy that was morning drive, owned the station, head of marketing, head of programming. I was on Imus all the time. You were doing Howard, we were doing all that. But we built a station that was so out of control, 790 The Zone, 17-year run. One
That's
company,
right.
Big Lee Brock. Your boy Salsa and I own that. Then I sell it, and I got to go work for people. Like, radio is a side hustle now, but I had to work for people. And there's a guy at that other radio station that used to tell me, why are you talking about food? And I used to say to him, because food is more relatable than talking about the 77th game of the year for the Braves and why we didn't bunt a guy over in the 8th inning. I want to talk about what's the best side dish at Bones. Like, do you order a New York strip or you go filet? Is there enough fat in the filet? Is a béarnaise sauce cheating? What's the perfect kind of French fry? What do you do when you get served a half a martini? And these, I would say, this is more relatable. This is what people love: travel, food, culture, TV, women. Like, do the format, but food is international. So I said, I want to own food in Atlanta. I own sports. I started a company called Bread and Butter. Now we're a big time production company, but it started with Atlanta Eats, reinventing myself to say, people are like, how do you switch from food to sports? And you're the perfect example. How you doing?
How are you?
Good to see you. You're the perfect example. It's all about entertainment. I said, I can talk about a deep dish slice versus a New York style just with as much passion and vigor as talking about, was Matt Ryan, underappreciated, or who do you blame for the Super Bowl? Is it Kyle Shanahan or is it, Dan Quinn or whoever? I mean, if you care and if you're passionate about anything, and my transfer over to the food thing just worked out perfectly. So
did you find, because I like, the show is so terrific, your food stuff is so just fantastic and fun, and just makes you horny watching it, the food that you're eating, and you're going around getting this juice everywhere. You're just constantly eating in these restaurants and everything. Did you get bigger because of the food than you ever got in radio? Because you were enormous in radio. But I actually think your food stuff took off so huge that it superseded the radio, and it got bigger. TV's always bigger than radio at the end of the day. Did you get more famous off the TV than you ever dreamt?
Well, when you get hired by the Food Network, I did 1 year, I traveled for a show called Food Truck Face Off. So that was Jesse's Palmer's first big gig. Jesse was our host. And then I was with a bunch of chefs traveling around the country giving away a food truck. They literally cast me. You want to talk about marketing, Scotty? There's a Canadian casting company looking at Kevin Rathman, who's a famous chef in Atlanta. And I was doing some social media posts with him, or I did a show on the Falcons with him. And they were like, dude, there's somebody named Steak that's hosting this show. And these women are like, what kind of crazy ass name is Steak Shapiro? So that name got me looked at. And then they called and said, do you want to come out to LA and audition and be a judge? And I said, is this a joke? Like, I just started Atlanta Eats. So I spent a year. We traveled the country: Austin, Texas, Miami, LA, and Toronto, Canada. Another good thing that happened to me, I wouldn't have been alive today if it went another year, because those were 4 crazy ass towns to be away. But yeah, the Food Network thing was awesome. What's big now is my Instagram, @Steak Shapiro. So when I'm with my 3 kids, and I got a daughter in college, and I'll go visit her in Athens, and these big fraternity dudes will roll up on me and be like, I love your show, dude. And I'll be like, you listen to radio? And then you're like, the kid's 21. Of course, he's not listening to terrestrial radio.
No.
And then I said, do you watch Atlanta Eats? And now that's an over-the-air television show.
Right.
And they're like, dude, I don't know what that is. It's the social media Instagram. I steal from Portnoy, I steal from Bourdain, I steal from Guy Fieri. They're all the same: entertainment, passion. So my Instagram is why everybody in Atlanta, I get stopped from 16-year-old girls and 7-year-old men about, I love the way you eat a sandwich. I love the way you talk about a Reuben. I love the way you talk about Cuban sandwiches.
So listen,
that's what people want to talk about.
Hold that thought. I refuse to stop this interview with Steak Shapiro. We'll bring it back and talk more with my friend from Atlanta, Steak Shapiro. Excuse me.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
Did you know sportsbooks tend to draw up tighter bet lines for events that get even more bettors, like championship games or major matchups? My tip, try betting on less popular sports. You might have a better shot at beating those odds. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
Chiefs Chargers in Brazil on Friday on YouTube. They're going to give everyone that game for free. They're so generous because the rest of the season they're going to fleece you for all your money.
That's one, Scott. That division to me, based on what's happened to the Chiefs the last couple seasons, that division, the AFC West, could be up for grabs here. I know Chiefs fans think I'm probably out of my mind.
Ferrall, Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
I actually like the fact that they went 7 games against a quality opponent here and still had to face adversity even in a game number 7. How are we setting up this next series where they rested Minnesota Timberwolves team taking on OKC fresh from the fight here?
They had an extremely, maybe it's just too strong a statement to say, easier pathway than people thought, particularly because of their size.
The early line, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high, but the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that ring. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple 15.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. It's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
So we're talking to Shapiro, a legend in Atlanta, and you've seen him on the Food Network. He does Atlanta Eats. He's all heavily invested. His Instagram is out of control with fans. Everyone digs him. I've been friends with him for over 3 decades. I got it. But listen, he's so popular in Atlanta, you have no idea how popular he is in New Orleans. Now, he went to Tulane, so he's a wave. And I want to ask you about 2 spots. Now, I was at the Super Bowl. And I went into many events in New Orleans. I've been to the 87 National Championship. Indiana beat Syracuse. I was covering Bob Knight, the last game I ever covered. I've been to New Orleans for multiple Super Bowls. I was at the Bears 46-10 Super Bowl annihilation of the Patriots. Don't get me started. But the only thing that matters in New Orleans at all is Mr. B's and the Acme Oyster Bar. Now, honest to God, those are the 2 greatest restaurants, and I sat at that bar with Mafia at the Acme Oyster Bar, and I ate like 100 oysters, fried. I had them grilled. I had them with crab meat on them. I had them with garlic. I had them raw with Tabasco. I drank 50 double rums, and then when I ate that jambalaya at Mr. B's, I mean it was better in Saks. Which one's better, Mr. B's or Acme?
Well, listen. It's like I get asked all the time, what's your favorite restaurant? What's better to this or that? I say, listen, is it a boys' night out? Is it date night? We taking the wife, we taking the family, we running hard, we going cocktails. Is it just comfort food? We ain't going out there. Like it matters. You gotta lay out the criteria. And let me tell you a couple of things. If you're rolling in New Orleans, you go to Mr. B's immediately because it's $1 martinis, and that's not a joke. $1 martinis on Friday. Mr. B's has the best barbecue shrimp in America. You get that bread that's wrapped up and nice and hot, and like you want to talk about at 58 years old. Not that sex, I mean, it still can be fun, but it doesn't compare to unraveling that French bread they have. It's piping hot, right? And then you start dipping in the barbecue shrimp. sauce, the barbecue shrimp sauce, and you're into your third martini. It's a Friday afternoon at 4. It's 4:47 p.m. on a Friday, and Mr. B's the pasta, Mr. B's, the burgers, everything in Mr. B's says classic New Orleans. And right across the street is one of the great bars in the world, and that's the Monteleone Bar, the carriage, the bar that spins around, right? Carriage bar.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: crazy thing about Acme is right across the street is a place called Felix's that is saying they're doing the same thing. So we're serving oysters, we're doing gumbo, we're doing po' boys. There's an hour and 20-minute wait at Acme, and there's 4 losers walking into Felix's 5 feet away, right? And it's like, how humiliating for that place to be 2 steps. And then there's the Gold Club, the strip bar, right next to both of them. And then there's Dickie Brennan's Steakhouse. You've been to Dickie Brennan's Steakhouse, same block, right? Every bachelor party. So that block alone, you got an incredible strip club. You got Acme, you got Sad Felix's, and you got Dickie Brennan's. And you can find blocks like that all over New Orleans.
What about your top 5? What's your top 5 food cities?
So New York is kind of in a different category by pure mass, right? You know, you could be in a cab and just tell the cabbie, drive 8 blocks this way, 4 blocks that way, blindfolded, and you get out and there's a better Italian restaurant than 99% in America, right? Like there's just a volume of great food, right? So whether you're talking about the best bagel or you're talking about pastrami at Katz's or you're talking about, every great steakhouse in Italian, but I'll go New Orleans number 1, all right? Because the energy of the city, I'm loyal to New Orleans. New York number 2, Chicago, is just, Chicago's big and beautiful and sexy when you want to go dine, right?
What about Vegas?
Vegas, yeah. So Vegas, we're going to put ahead. Listen, most of Vegas is still the 3rd or 4th or 5th iteration of Joe Stone Crab's, their version of it.
Which is Joe's in Miami is sexual. That place, you can't even get in there unless you know somebody. I knew the maitre d' when I worked down there. That place is fantastic.
Number 1 grossing restaurant in the United States is Joe's Stone Crab. They do something like 40 to 50 million, right? So Miami's a great food town. I'll put them at 5. Vegas is 4. Chicago 3. NYC 2. New Orleans number 1. But
I like food trucks. I actually, in Miami, I used to go out. I'd stay at the Ritz, and I would go to the food trucks. They'd have like food truck battles. And I mean to tell you, I was eating lobster rolls, and I was eating, the best Mexican tacos and fish tacos in the world, and even the best Cuban food in the world in Miami.
The best street food are out of food trucks in America. So that's street tacos, exactly what you said. A Cuban sandwich. Some guy's got a little grill right behind you, and he's got the pork, he's got the Swiss, he's got the pickle, he's got it all happening, and you can smell that sucker, right? You walk up to it, it's like an aphrodisiac, right? It's like we used to be at the Cheetah 30 years ago in Buckhead. That's what it's like now walking up, right? Walking up to a
we used to eat steaks at the Cheetah. You remember they had the
Alluvia, right?
All right, one last question before I get fired. You wrote the other day about how average the Braves are.
Yeah. Well, listen, the Braves are the one brand in Atlanta that's been consistent, right? It's one of the winning franchises. But there's always that if. 14 straight division titles, they only won 1 title. That's Glavine, Smoltz, Maddox, 5 Hall of Famers. They win it 4 years ago, but it's getting to feel a little bit old and tired, right? Same guys, Riley, Olsen, Acuna, Albies. You got no shortstop. You lost Dirksen Profar day 1 with that deal. There's that chromosome missing. There's only 3 teams in the National League with less wins than the Braves. Only 3. All right? They're not it this year.
Hey, listen, Steak, I love you. It made my entire week having you on the show today. You were fabulous. I love you. Continued success. All the best to your family. Say hi to all my friends in Atlanta. Thank you so much for coming on Coast to Coast.
I love you.
We're gonna
No, we're
have
not.
some fun.
No, if the
What do
Knicks
you
are losing,
mean?
I'm gonna be miserable.
Be fine.
I'm gonna be miserable. Really? You know what? I'm saying Knicks are winning tomorrow.
Oh.
Fuck it. Here we go. Knicks are winning. See that guy? No, that's the wrong guy. See that guy? See him? He's over his assist prop. Jalen Brunson. He's going over his assist prop.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
I already heard yesterday that he's got no shot to win the Cy Young because it's going to Scooble again. Scooble's winning the Cy Young. No shot for free.
They're both terrific. They both have incredible numbers and credentials and stats and strikeouts and ERA and everything. Like every single category, Fried is right there with him.
Ferrall coast to coast. Only on SportsGrid.
Face is the new face. New face of what? The hell are you talking about? Like seriously. Oh, the new face of the NBA, Anthony. Yeah, okay. You know what I mean? Look, really? Guy's got 2 shots. You're the face of the NBA. Slow down. He's a good player. I've always thought the whole face of the NBA thing was comical. You want him to be the face of the NBA because you don't like it that all the other faces in the NBA aren't American.
Sports Rage tonight. Only on SportsGrid.
I mean, Carver High, I'm like, I got horny hearing about all that food. I got hungry. I mean, I could smell the grill going at Acme down in New Orleans, and Mr. B's like, I mean, my guy Steak had me going there. I started drooling. He got me all revved up, and now I need like some kind of like kick-ass food when the show ends tonight. I mean, he put me over the edge.
Yeah, he had a lot of food talk for you right there, Steak Shapiro. So we got you all set up now. You're good to go for a good meal tonight. You're going to want something good. You better talk to 34C and make sure that everybody's all straightened out there at the Ferrall Palatial for later. All right, let's get to tonight because we have a lot of games in baseball this evening that we have to get to. It's a Friday night, and it is very, very busy. Of course, still scoreless, bottom 4. I guess they're going to play the speed game out in Baltimore tonight with the early start, 4 innings in an hour, so they're looking to get out of there. Elsewhere, Philadelphia tonight for the Brewers and the Phillies. Taijuan Walker will go for Philadelphia. Now it's DL Hall listed as the starter. He is going to be like a 1-inning opener. He's a lefty to face Schwarber and all the other lefties, and then it'll probably be Quinn Priester right after that. Phillies minus 120, even money for the Brewers, and a 9.5.
I got to stick with the Phillies in the bank at that price.
Phillies at the bank tonight for you. The A's still in Toronto against the Blue Jays. Of course, they got smashed last night. Tonight they will try again with Jeffrey Springs. The Basset Hound goes for the Jays. Right now, minus 180 for Toronto, plus $1.50 for the A's, and an 8.5.
Yeah, I don't think it's worth laying that kind of wood on Basset Hound, but I'm willing to run line it at plus 116. So I'll go for it and think the Jays keep raking. It seems like on a nightly basis now, over the last 3 weeks, the A's have been getting their ass pounded.
They have been doing a lot of that, that's for sure. The Angels head east. They're in Cleveland this weekend against the Guardians. Jose Soriano and Luis Ortiz, the starters this evening. I mentioned Mike Trout is back in the lineup, DHing and hitting 5th for Anaheim. Cleveland's minus 145, plus $1.20 for the Angels, and an 8.5.
I got to go Guardians at Progressive in the land. I think the Angels have been struggling lately. I think they need Trout back. I'm not sure he's going to come out and just start dealing immediately the way he's been missing months at a time every year. Here he goes again. Now he's going to come back and rake. I don't believe it. I'm going to stick with the guards, and I don't think it's that heavy of a price.
The Rockies are at Citi Field this weekend against the Mets. Kyle Freeland tonight. That would be the 9-47 Rockies. Kyle Freeland tonight. David Peterson for the Mets. Heavy lumber here. Minus 310. Plus 250 for the Rockies and an 8.5.
I mean, this is, a ridiculous price. I want no part of that. And I got to lay $1.50 to do the run line. I'm not interested in that either. But if I had to, I would. If I was forced to, I would go with the Mets on the run line. And I think the Rockies stink. So I'm not going to be surprised at all if this thing soars over 8.
Yeah, just the over for me in that one. Just the over for the Mets and the Rockies. The Giants are in Miami against the Marlins. Kyle Harrison and our pal Kyle Quantrill, minus 165 for San Fran, plus $1.40 for the Fish, and an 8.5.
I won't be surprised at all if when you do taters, you have at least one Giant up against our guy Cal tonight in Miami. So I'm all over the Giants here to beat the Marlins' ass, not only tonight, but all weekend.
Yeah, I do have a Giant on the tater time tonight, which we will get to momentarily,
of
course. Red Sox and the Braves in Atlanta. Lucas Giolito and Grant Holmes. Big Grant Holmes going tonight. Minus 165 for the Braves, plus 140 for the Sox, and a 9.5.
I mean, I got to tell you, the Braves stubbed their toes so much that I can't, deny that price of the Red Sox at plus 140 that they can steal this one in Atlanta tonight. I mean, Atlanta, I couldn't even believe they beat the Phillies last night. They lost to them yesterday afternoon, beat them last night. I'm going to take the Red Sox. I hate them, but I'm taking them.
We got a few more games, of course, including that Yankee-Dodger opener at Chavez Ravine, along with the homers. We'll do all that when we come back. Everybody loves the Yankees and Dodgers.
I want free chicken to come through for me tonight and pay off. I should have given that one to Steak. He remembers his boy Freed down in Hot Town.
No, we're
Have
not.
some fun?
No, if the Knicks are losing, I'm gonna be miserable.
I'll be fine.
I'm gonna be miserable. Really? You know what? I'm saying Knicks are winning tomorrow.
Oh.
Fuck it. Here we go. Knicks are winning tomorrow. See that guy? No, that's the wrong guy. See that guy? See him? Over his assist prop. Jalen Brunson. He's going over his assist prop.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
Heard yesterday that he's got no shot to win the Cy Young because it's going to Skubal again. Skubal's winning the Cy Young. No shot for Freed.
They're both terrific. They both have incredible numbers and credentials and stats and strikeouts and ERA and everything. Every single category, Freed is right there with him.
Ferrall, coast to coast. Only on SportsGrid.
Face is the new face. New face of what? The hell are you talking about? Like seriously. Oh, the new face of the NBA, Anthony. Yeah, okay. You know what I mean? Look, really? Guy's got 2 shots. You're the face of the NBA. Slow down. He's a good player. I've always thought the whole face of the NBA thing was comical. You want him to be the face of the NBA because you don't like it that all the other faces in the NBA aren't American.
Sports Rage tonight. Only on SportsGrid.
right, so we take it to the Cards and Rangers next, right, at the Globe?
Yes, we will take it to the Cards and the Rangers next at the Globe. Tonight, they will get together just after 8 o'clock East for Matthew Liberatore and Jack Leiter. Minus 130 for the Cardinals. Of course, they've been red hot. They're favorites on the road here. Rangers plus $1.10 and an 8.5.
Well, look, I got to stick with the Cardinals. They win every night. I mean, they've just been absolutely raking, and the Rangers have been struggling. So I'm not betting against that St. Louis freight train right now.
Hard to get in the way, that's for sure. Same thing with the Tigers right now. The Tigers have been smashing everybody, and they're in Kansas City against the Royals. Casey Mize and Seth Lugo tonight. Minus 125 for Detroit, plus 105 for Kansas City, and an 8.5.
I mean, this is automatic for me. Larry Mize, he's 6-1. The guy's just absolutely terrorizing hitters. I'm on Detroit here. I can't believe it's that cheap.
Yeah, you're getting a nice price for them, that's for sure. Tampa is still in Houston. Of course, that's a 4-gamer. They started last night, and they smashed them. Tonight, they'll have Pepio going against Framber Valdez for Houston. Minus 160 for the Astros, plus 135 for the Rays, and a 7.5.
I'm going to take that plus 135 in the Rays based on what I saw last night with their sticks. I mean, they are swinging the bats. Caminero, I mean, are you kidding me? Like, look at this team right now. 13 runs. Like, I'm going with them. I think Houston's been playing some decent ball, but I already saw them get their ass beat last night by him, so I'm sticking with them.
Bunch of late-night games tonight. We'll start in San Diego at Petco, where the Pirates are in town. You know, Skeens ain't pitching this weekend. He just pitched yesterday. I guess he could sit in the dugout and eat some of that soft-serve ice cream that they've got out there at Petco this weekend. But Mitch Keller will go tonight for the Pirates. Nick Pivetta goes for the Padres, who are minus 205, plus 170 for the Buccos, and a 7.5.
Listen, I know everyone thinks that Helen Keller's this great pitcher, and I say my ass to that. I mean, he's 1-6. Every time he pitches, he gets lit up. I won't deny his ERA's decent. The problem is he doesn't win, and Pivetta does. And here's another thing. The Padres feast on bad teams. So I'm laying the 1.5 at plus 115 on the run line with the Pods. Give me the Friars run line tonight against the Bucks. Even though the Pirates' bats have come alive in the last few days, I still don't trust them.
You can't trust them, even though they have come alive. Especially Pavetta's been very good at home there in San Diego. Nationals have been hot, coming off those couple games in Seattle. They've won 7 out of 10. Now they're in the desert to see the Diamondbacks. This evening, Jake Irvin against Merrill Lynch Kelly. Some big lumber here. Minus 225 for the Snakes, plus 185 for the Nats, and a 9.5.
I mean, have we not been talking about them winning 7 of 10? And you're going to give me $1.88 on Irvin, who's 4-1 with a 3.4 ERA. Give me the Nats again with the stunner tonight. Look what the Bucks did to the Snakes. They beat their ass. Give me the Nats and the big money payout. Check out. Ooh.
Yeah, you know, Snakes have been struggling right now. They've had all kinds of problems recently, and the Nats have been hot. Minnesota is at T-Mobile in Seattle against the Mariners this weekend. Zebby Matthews for Minnesota tonight. Brian Wu, who's been excellent, as we know, goes for the Mariners. Right now, minus 145 for Seattle, plus $1.20 for Minnesota, and a 6.5 low total.
I'm on Wu-Tang Clan in a big way. I got him at minus $1.40 earlier. I like the M's tonight at T-Mobile with him on the bump.
And finally, of course, this weekend in Los Angeles, a rematch of last year's World Series. Yankees and the Dodgers get together for 3 at Chavez Ravine. Max Fried, who has been excellent for the Yankees here over the first 2 months. Tony Gonsolin for the Dodgers. Yankees are road favorites here. Minus 120. Even money for the Dodgers. I saw this is the first time in over a year Dodgers are dogs at home. Who was pitching the last time that happened, Scotty? Max Fried for Atlanta early last season. was the last time the Dodgers were dogs at home. Max Fried, the favorite tonight against them.
I'm on Fried Chicken and the Bombers here. They can't win the World Series. They can't hit in October, Judge in particular. But it's the end of May. What is it, the 30th? Give me the Dodgers to lose. I like the Yankees to win at that price, -120, and the under 9, because I think Fried has been unbelievable, as you know. What is this guy? 7-1, 7-0. He still hasn't lost a game. 7-0 with a 1.2 ERA. And Gonsolin's 2-1 with a 4.6 ERA. I still think this is going to be a pitcher's game tonight at Dodger Stadium, and I like the under. And nobody's betting the under. Everyone and their brother is like betting the over 9. I'm going under.
And I look at it this way, too. You just look at the matchups this weekend. Like, this is the game, like, Yankees got to get tonight. Like, if they want to win, to have something. Because tomorrow night's probably going to be a wild game with Warren and Knack. Maybe a high-scoring game. Dodgers have more offense than the Yankees. We know that. And then they're facing Yamamoto on Sunday night with Yarbrough going. So they have a distinct advantage tonight in the starting pitching matchup. Yanks got to go out and just keep Judge away from that right center field wall with the fence in it.
They've won 7 straight series. I'm going to take them tonight, and I'm going to bet Warren tomorrow. I think Warren has the Dodgers perplexed tomorrow and has them eaten out of his palm, striking out Dodgers left and right. Yarbrough's been really good, but I still think Yamamoto beats him on Sunday Night Baseball.
Should be a fun weekend, and all those games are on national TV. It's Apple TV tonight, Fox on Saturday, ESPN on Sunday. So you can watch Yankees and Dodgers all weekend long. All right,
I'm going to watch tonight.
Yes, I actually got myself. I know I have a lot of me and you talk about this. I have tons of the streaming stuff. I don't normally carry Apple TV. But I was able to acquire a 1 month free of it the other day, so I knew the Yankees and Dodgers were playing on Friday night, so I decided why not? I'll get in with that. All right, how about some taters for tonight? I have a couple guys I'm going back to that have not. It's been a tough week, but we're going to end this week on a bang. And I got a few guys with some unbelievable numbers that we're going to play. And we'll start with Matt Olson. He didn't come through for us last night, but I'm trying again because he's 7 for 13 with 4 homers off of Lucas Giolito. Plus 330 for Olson tonight down in Hot Town against him. Okay. You wanted somebody from the Giants against our pal Cal? You got it. Matt Chapman this morning plus 420. It's down in the 3s now. A little tough when it gets that pricey, but I still think Chapman's going to take Quantrill deep. I'm going with Bellinger against his old team tonight and Tony Gonsolin out in Los Angeles. Did you know, Scotty? I forgot to mention this when we did the game. First time ever. 3 former MVPs in both lineups. Yankees versus Dodgers tonight. There's 3 former MVPs on each team. They're both going to be in the starting lineup. Bellinger, of course, is one of those guys, and I think he'll go deep. Taylor Ward for the Angels. I like a lot of guys in this game. I like Ward. I like Jose Ramirez. I like Ohapi. But Ward at plus 470 for them. I like Yelich tonight against Tijuana Walker and the Phillies. Plus 5 Bills. He's got a homer off him 4 for 8 in his career. And I'm going back to the Wood Doctor, too. Plus 550 for James Wood tonight against Merrill Lynch Kelly. That's the type of pitcher that he's been smashing lately. Give me the Wood Doctor, Scotty. Olson, Chapman, Bellinger, Ward, Yelich, and the Wood Doctor.
Bombs away with the Wood Doctor, and Yelich has been hitting grand slams. Taylor Ward's been on fire. So is Belly. And I hope that Chapman hit one for you and ring the bell. And then Olson tonight as well. I love these. Chicks dig the long ball.
They do dig the long ball. We'll come back. I have some NFL stuff for you. We have those videos from yesterday that we held over. We have a bunch of stuff to do in terms of the NFL before we head into the weekend.
Yeah, Stephon Diggs with his pink cocaine.
No, we're not.
Fun?
No, if the Knicks are losing, I'm gonna be miserable.
I'll be fine.
I'm gonna be miserable. Wait, really? You know what? I'm saying Knicks are winning tomorrow.
Oh,
fuck it. Here we go. Knicks are winning tomorrow. See that guy? No, that's the wrong guy. See that guy? See him? over his assist prop. Jalen Brunson. He's going over his assist prop.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
Heard yesterday that he's got no shot to win the Cy Young because it's going to Scooble again. Scooble's winning the Cy Young. No shot for Fried.
They're both terrific. They both have incredible numbers and credentials and stats and strikeouts and ERA and everything. Like every single category, Fried is right there with him.
Ferrall, coast to coast. Only on SportsGrid.
Face. It's the new face. New face of what? The hell are you talking about? Like seriously. Oh, the new face of the NBA, Anthony. Yeah, okay. You know what I mean? Like, really? Guy's got 2 shots. You're the face of the NBA. Slow down. He's a good player. I've always thought the whole face of the NBA thing was comical. You want him to be the face of the NBA because you don't like it that all the other faces of the NBA aren't American.
Sports Rage tonight. Only on SportsGrid.
We always love to give you Pain Day Skinny on Coast to Coast because everyone loves football.
Everybody does love football. Everybody loves Pain Day Skinny. As we're getting a lot of OTAs this week, a lot of teams have been in camp talking, etc. We did actually have a trade that's being done. 49ers and the Eagles. Eagles are going to send pass rusher Sam Huff to San Fran for a mid-round pick. Huff makes a lot of money. Bryce Huff, excuse me there. Bryce Huff going to San Francisco for the mid-round pick. Sam Huff. We have a lot going. The autocorrect for once got me on the rundown today, which doesn't happen very often, but it is there.
No one cares.
So the Eagles are going to pay most of the freight for Huff. Now, Huff will be reunited with Saleh. Of course, he played for him at the Jets. Saleh back as the DC in San Francisco, so you get yourself a little bit of a connection there. Other teams talking trade. Multiple teams have reached out to the Falcons about Kyle Pitts, who has been very disappointing, I guess you could say. That would be my assessment. When you take a guy that high in the draft, I'd say very disappointing he's been in Atlanta.
Well, we'll see. It's either they're going to, it's one of two things. Give him a deal because he's in the midst of needing one, and then otherwise they get rid of him. I don't know if they give up on Pitts just yet. It's not like they've had the greatest quarterback rooms in the last few years down there. Let's not blame him for everything.
Can't blame him for everything, that's for sure. All right, I have this. This was from yesterday, but it was too good. We kept it over. Stephon Diggs and the video of him on the boat with all the ladies. There was a pink substance in a bag. Whatever the situation was there. Now, you know that this can't make Mike Vrabel too happy because he's now the new head man in New England, and he wants things his way, and he wants structure, and he wants right decisions, and he doesn't want distractions. Focus. Doesn't want distractions. Here's Mike Vrabel.
Well, it's something that we're aware of, and obviously we want to make great decisions on and off the field. And we're hoping that with our time here on the field today, and that when we don't have a script and we're on the call-up periods, that we're making great decisions. And so the message will be the same for all our players, that we're trying to make great decisions, and any conversations that I've had with Stephon will remain between him and I and the club.
Have you talked to him since the video?
I talk to our players every single day, the ones that are here and the ones that aren't.
I don't believe that.
Are you expecting him to practice today, Mike?
Not if he's not here.
So he's not here.
You guys will find out in a minute. But no.
We're going to do this now, the cloak and dagger stuff.
Last week, according to a video.
Everything that we're going to do, Karen, is we're going to coach the guys that show up at 8. And the ones that say, hey, I got a situation, we'll be here at 8:05. We'll coach those as well. This is a voluntary part of our off-season program. And every player that's not here, which there aren't many, have been in communication with me and their position coaches.
I was just going to ask, based on what you've seen from the times he's been around, how would you say he's progressing?
Again, the timelines and the prognosis and everything again, we're working hard to get him back and to be ready to go. But, you know, when he's here, we'll coach him and we'll have everything ready to go.
Yeah,
Sounds happy with the situation.
Will he bring 2C pink cocaine to the practices for his teammates? Like, that was such a bad scene on that boat. Any way you slice it. Like, that was debauchery and nudity, sex and drugs and booze, and that's just all there is to it. Now, you can surmise whatever you want from it, but we all saw what we saw. So it's one thing to hear about it. It's another thing to actually sit there and watch it. It certainly has quite an impact when you watch it yourself and you get to see with your very own eyes that my man was dabbling in some serious narcotics.
Yeah, look, in Vrabel's, he don't want to hear stuff like this. He just wants to coach the football team. He wants everybody, and I don't believe he talks to every player.
He won't even admit it. Like, that's how pathetic that interview was.
We had, of course, the story a couple weeks ago about how Caleb Williams, or it was going to be in a book, whatever it was, that Caleb Williams didn't want to go to the Bears. Well, the Chicago media had their first chance to ask him about that this week. Here's Caleb.
That was something that was glaring to me, that, you know, I wanted to come here and, you know, be the guy and be a part and be a reason on why, you know, Chicago Bears turned this thing around. So that last thing that was said and all of that, I think, was the most important thing, is that I wanted to be here, that I love being here. I love my teammates. You know, I love all the people that got me here, family, friends, Ryan, Kevin, you know, Flus and Shane, all those guys that, you know, went through all of that process with me to get me here. But it was a you know, all those things, like I said, were thoughts. But the main goal and the main objective of being here is to turn around. That's why I was selected number one.
Listen, yeah, I thought he was awful.
Yeah.
I don't
he
care
didn't have a
where
good
he wants
first
to
year.
play. He was like a hooker. He was on his back so much. I thought I was watching a porno last year in the NFL, watching that guy play. Let's calm down on this guy's the greatest thing since Jesus. I mean, honestly, like, what more do you need to know? It is so easy for me to sit here and abuse the Chicago Bears because they've been losing since 1985. They stink. I've been hearing about how they're going to win the Super Bowl every year. Now they got this new coach, Dental Floss. Your boy thinks, is that who it is? Or no, Ben Johnson, right? Is he the new coach?
Ben Johnson.
They got rid of Dental Floss, and now they got Ben Johnson. And let me tell you why Ben Johnson got the job. Because they suck so bad, they had to go get him from the Lions, a winner, to get someone to win some games in Chicago, because they never win.
Never win. Never win at all. Ranking the teams with the best chance to win their first Super Bowl: Bills, Lions, Bengals, Chargers, Vikings, Arizona, Jags, Titans, Panthers, Browns. Teams that have never won a Super Bowl. They say that the Bills and the Lions have the best chance. We shall see. I hope they're right. The Rams and Kyron.
They said they were going to give us Bills and Lions last year. That's what you and I wanted, and that's what we hoped for, and that's what we did not get. We still got that same crappy Super Bowl. And let me tell you something. It was a crappy Super Bowl. I know the Eagles loved it and their fans, but that was a terrible game again. Just another 2-week wait for a debauchery game that sucked. I've had more fun watching Disney on ice. Honestly.
Kyron Williams and the Rams are close on a contract. Christian McCaffrey is as healthy as he can be. Jackson Dart signed his rookie deal, and the Vikings gave GM Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah a multi-year extension.
I'm in the best shape I've been in a year.
No, we're not.
Fun?
No, if the Knicks are losing, I'm gonna be miserable.
I'll be fine.
I'm gonna be miserable. Really? You know what? I'm saying Knicks are winning tomorrow.
Oh.
Fuck it. Here we go. Knicks are winning tomorrow. See that guy? No, that's the wrong guy. See that guy? See him? Over his assist prop. Jalen Brunson. He's going over his assist prop.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
Heard yesterday that he's got no shot to win the Cy Young because it's going to Scooble again. Scooble's winning the Cy Young. No shot for Fried.
They're both terrific. They both have incredible numbers and credentials and stats and strikeouts and ERA and everything. Like every single category, Fried is right there with him.
Ferrall, coast to coast. Only on SportsGrid.
Face. It's the new face. New face of what? The hell are you talking about? Like seriously. Oh, the new face of the NBA, Anthony. Yeah, okay. You know what I mean? Like, really? Guy's got 2 shots. You're the face of the NBA. Slow down. He's a good player. I've always thought the whole face of the NBA thing was comical. You want him to be the face of the NBA because you don't like it that all the other faces in the NBA aren't American.
Sports Rage tonight. Only on SportsGrid.
Let's hit college football with my guy, Rich Sermonello.
Hey, Scott, we're less than 100 days to the start of college football. Can't wait to start talking about games. But I want to take a moment here to discuss which programs in the major conferences, Power 4 conferences, have had the best offseason. Now, it's going to involve transfer portal, but I looked at other issues, coaching changes, coaching continuity, even high school recruiting. And this is what I came up with. First off, ACC, going to go with Clemson. Dabo Swinney, first time, has started to dip his toes into the transfer portal pool. Not a major splash, but just the fact that he's upgrading through the portal, to me, is a big win. Also love the addition of defensive coordinator Tom Allen from Penn State. That defense, tons of talent, really didn't make a lot of big plays last year. Needed a shakeup. I think Tom Allen will bring that. So Clemson for the ACC. Honorable mention to Miami, by the way. Mario Cristobal continues to do a great job in the portal. Now, Big 12, we talked a lot about Texas Tech for good reason. Going to continue to talk about the Red Raiders. Texas Tech is proving the concept that you can spend your way to a better roster. In fact, down in Lubbock, they think they have potentially their best roster ever at Texas Tech. Major upgrades on the defensive line, major upgrades on the offensive line, added some new weapons in the receiving corps. Terrence Carter, the tight end out of Louisiana, Reggie Virgil from the MAC. So Texas Tech, massive upgrades. Quintessential Big 12, by the way, Scott. 5 teams at plus 650. Texas Tech, one of them. I think they should be the favorite right now. Now, Big 10, Penn State, another buzzy team that we've talked a lot about. Great offseason. They lose Tom Allen at defensive coordinator. What do? They upgrade with Jim Knowles. And not only do they upgrade, but they poach from their rival Ohio State. So great defensive coordinator addition. Retain all of their stars. Drew Aller, Nick Singleton, Katron Allen. Deny Dennis Sutton and Zane Duran on defense. Penn State, great offseason. Just won Big Ten title under James Franklin. So if not now, when? And finally, SEC thought long and hard about Auburn, Oklahoma. Both teams have done great in the offseason. I think Hugh Freeze finally has the talent on offense to explode. But I'm going to go with LSU. I'm sticking with LSU plus 700 to win the SEC. You keep Garrett Nussmeier. Brian Kelly finally has coaching continuity, no major changes. Massive upgrades in talent, both through the portal and through high school recruiting. Harlem Berry, the running back, DJ Pickett, the corner. could play right away. So some really big off seasons for these P4 schools. Next week, what do you say we talk about the group of 5 schools who had the best off seasons from the smaller programs?
My man, Rich, thank you. Have a great weekend, buddy. I can't wait to see if LSU chokes again or not. They usually do under Brian Kelly. Carver High, I know you got leftovers.
Let's go. We got a lot to do. The SEC is increasing the fine for storming the field up to $500,000. Keep doing it anyway. How about this Week 3 college football tripleheader? Wisconsin at Bama, Georgia at Tennessee, Florida at LSU. Week 3. Get excited. The Champions League final in Germany tomorrow. Who do you got? PSG and Inter. Who's it going to be for you, Scotty?
I'm on Inter. I'm not getting away from Inter. Let's go.
Wow, that's the 90-minute line that you see right there. The plus 240 for Inter on the 90-minute line to lift the cup, which would be 90 minutes, extra time, penalty kicks. You get Inter at plus 136 for that one. That's the one you want. The not anyway win, not just the 90-minute line. You want to make sure they win.
I think
no
Inter's
matter
great,
what.
and defensively they're great. They made it here. They mean business.
Sidney Crosby and the Flower are among the cast for next season's Amazon hockey show Face Off, where they go behind the scenes with all the players.
Why the Flower?
Well,
Did they already film it?
because
He's done.
Yes, that they're going to show. They filmed it all this year, and then they show it all next year. So that's why the Flower's in it in his final season. And you want to talk about having a bad day? How about Zion? A lawsuit was filed yesterday in Los Angeles by a woman that accused Zion Williamson of rape and physical abuse over a period of several years. The woman claims to be his former girlfriend. Zion's attorney denies all the claims, says it's a money shakedown, the attorney said today.
Ferrall finished. A passenger arrested for smacking a boy who called her fat and Miss Piggy on a flight home from Disney World. I think that kid is just awesome. Front Office Sports today is next, then GTD, then In-Game Live, then Sports Rage. Don't forget Carver without Lisi tonight on SportsGrid Radio. Have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday at 3 on Coast to Coast.
Face, the new face. New face of what? The hell are you talking about? Like seriously. Oh, the new face of the NBA, Anthony. Yeah, okay. You know what I mean? Like, really? Guy's got 2 shots. You're the face of the NBA. Slow down. He's a good player. I've always thought the whole face of the NBA thing was comical. You want him to be the face of the NBA because you don't like it that all the other faces of the NBA aren't American.
Sports Rage tonight. Only on SportsGrid.
And if you go through CAT, that means CAT at 11-1 could be Eastern Conference Finals MVP. The worst team in the WNBA is the Chicago Sky. They have no perimeter play. They're playing too many minutes. And Angel Reese doesn't have the help she needs.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
I already heard yesterday that he's got no shot to win the Cy Young because it's going to Scooble again. Scooble's winning the Cy Young. No shot for free.
They're both terrific. They both have incredible numbers and credentials and stats and strikeouts and ERA and everything, like every single category. Freed is right there with him.
Ferrall, coast to coast, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.